let's get started with this. This is a redo of deku was a giga noto sodas redo part 1. Let's get groovy into this. After the events of 2001's Jurassic Park 3, things were coming to a change. Dinosaurs were everything. The new apex predator Spinosaurus, or Asset 87, was now top of its game. The creature was the best of the best now. Not long, a couple of years later, year 2011, in Jurassic World, they made a new discovery. Something brand new. The first genetic hybrid, the Indominus Rex. A mixture of creatures from the genome pool is based off of Basis Tyrannosaurus and a Velociraptor. This was now an extremely intelligent animal, one that would be a military in purpose, fully. This creature was superior to the Tyrannosaurus Rex in every way. Size, strength, and now looks scarier. If T-Rex is giving children nightmares, the parents Indominus Rex would give the parents nightmares. This was the new attraction. 2 hatchlings were born. They kept the rest of the genome pool of the Indominus Rex in a stash. But one of the Indominus Rexes proceeded to eat its sibling after a week. It was weaker. This Indominus Rex was, dubbed very quickly. They proceeded to see her as the new attraction. She was tested on, experimented, and everything like that. Nothing really stayed the same ever since then. And in 2015, the creature had enough. Enough of the torture, the abuse, the experiments. It decided to break out the freedom. And under 48 hours, what was it, 48 hours? Yeah. Or 24 or 48 hours. Between those two, the Indominus Rex proceeded to cause havoc, as causing the park to close in under 48 hours or 24 hours. This was something interesting. Very much, the creature was deemed deceased at the end of the day, but that's what they told the public. The truth was, the creature was still alive. Unlike the original timeline, this Indominus Rex would not die. It would proceed to disappear once it was beaten, deciding to fight another day. Not worth risking its life and its hide. But for the world to know of Jurassic World's coming back, and for the creature that caused this, they needed to know if, the dinosaur was dead. They presumably lied about the death of the dinosaur and, the downfall of Jurassic World. And they proceeded to leave the creature to its fate. and leave the creatures to their fate on the island. A few years later, Eagler Newbar would be set to explode. This caused a chain reaction among the rest of the world to decide if they should let the dinosaurs die, the final remnants of the great species, the great animals of dinosaurs, or save them from extinction, permanent extinction. This was a tough decision now that people are now trying to figure out if, well, they should do. Not long, they decided to screw it. The group would proceed to head towards the island to collect certain animals, all the dinosaurs. Two in particular, Blue the Velociraptor, the last of her kind, and the Indominus for some strange, odd reason. The two were captured, and Claire and Owen were finally figured out that the creature was still alive. They were surprised seeing the creature alive and was fully grown. 50 feet, that's how big it was. It was large. They proceeded to continue the test, and they made a new hybrid. Dr. Wu called it the Indoraptor. A sleeker, more slimmer design, going like the failed Indominus Rex. This would be completely complex. It was smart, intelligent, fast, quick, and this was fully military controllable. They proceeded to create the ultimate hybrid. It had one flaw. It was smart. That's Indominus. A bit too smart. Not too smart. It was listen to commands, but it didn't have a leader. So that came back to the problem where it was out of control, and Bullet the Velociraptor decided to, along with Owen and Claire, to take things in their own hands and kill the creature. And not long this would be proceed to be happened. The creature was dead, as the Indoraptor remained upon the skeleton of the Triceratops. Whereas the rest of the animals would go free, including the infamous Indominus Rex as well, to wander the world. Now we proceed to cut to a few months later. Dr. Wu would have been on his last legs. Things has not come going well. He's been trying. Every time he's worked on something, it always failed or ended up going wrong. He wanted to give up. He needed it. He couldn't take this anymore. He was losing himself. His hair was growing out. He wasn't taking care of himself. He was just losing himself. Wu would proceed to wonder, Biosin, as he was now working for, was coming up with new ideas, proceeding to save the dinosaurs and giving them an area to call their own. They seemed selfless at first, but to be honest, the truth was they were not selfless at all. They were wanting to take over the world by taking their crops and everything for it. Once they take over the world by using humanity's foods as a source, and the only way they can get their food is from biosin. This was the plan. But there need to be some precautions to make sure nobody found out. The leader, who I forgot in his name, which, I don't want to remember his name because, to be honest, he was kind of stupid. So, he proceeded to ask Wu one thing create him a dinosaur like no other. He wants it to be intelligent enough to solve problems on its own, like the Indominus and the Indominus, the Indoraptor, and the Scorpius Rex, with no flaws. He wanted a perfect dinosaur, a war machine, for war and for attraction. He also wanted to be a guard dog. As he simply asked, create him an animal, a dinosaur, that is a war machine and a guard dog. Make it look flashy. And also, we need to I want the fear look, the intimidation display. I want intimidation, terrifying, horrifying. I wanted it to look scary. I wanted its appearance to be terrifying, which nothing and nobody will try to enter or deceive us. We'll be hesitant to making this creature. He wouldn't want to. But some pestering and decisive work saying that this creature will be the guard dog for the sanctuary. It will not be used for anything but the sanctuary. It'll live and thrive like any normal animal in the sanctuary. But he wants it to be the sanctuary's guard. To guard the sanctuary. So no one can steal the dinosaurs from there. As much as they want to take over the world, Bison also wanted to protect the dinosaurs. They were still truthful about that. They're in danger now. That was one thing that they kept true to themselves. They wanted to save the dinosaurs. They were innocent of all this. They were brought back. And they didn't want, and not by choice. So Wu agreed. He asked if he wanted to make like something similar to an Indominus as the base. He simply said no. Nothing like a T-Rex. Nothing like Asset 87. Nothing like that. He asked what was one of the components he used for the Indominus Rex, because one dinosaur they used for its size to get it to be 50 meters, 50 feet, as they simply said, we used Giganotosaurus DNA. Giganotosaurus. Well then, what I want you to do, make that as the base. Put some Indominus, some of the Indoraptor within it. Some Tyrannosaurus wouldn't be that bad. Make it scary. We would not, as he would proceed to do just that, making it look scary. He wanted to be terrifying. Think of somebody's worst nightmare. Nothing too horror. But he also wanted to have something else. A precaution. He didn't want people to go out to just... He wanted to make sure. And he wanted to make sure that, well, he was keeping his word. The asshole that put him in this keeping his word. So he simply put another precaution, making the animal incredibly intelligent. Similar to a chimpanzee, where it can identify and certainly do things as its own. He also wanted to make it one of a kind. This was one of a kind dinosaur, one of a kind Giganotosaurus, where it's going to surpass any type of height. He wanted it to be big, really big. That's what he asked. Bison wanted big. He'll get big. He'll give it big. giving him most of every creature's DNA, every large carnivorous DNA that he could think of were huge. He gave the Rex DNA of its size and weight. The giga DNA was used to give it the large length and long size. The spina was used for, well, the density, so an upright beatness, for it to be agile, quick, and also the rest of Allosaurus was used also, along with Carno. We made sure to make this animal decently. Once he finished with the components, he proceeded to make it. He wanted to have another mechanism, a special mechanism. As he proceeded to, well, put venom within, giving it venom glands, where its teeth would actually grow out to be huge with poison and toxin that would be uncurable to any dinosaurs, but curable for man. He said he wanted flashy, so he decided to find something that would help this creature. He did know that if this creature was ever going to be overwhelmed, he wanted it to be incredibly smart. This creature was supposed to be given, its arms were decently sized, nothing like the Therizinosaurus or the Indominus in length and arm strength. No, more like the Spinosaurus, where it's decent. Its claws were sharp. But it was also given something special. Something that was given that we was going to only give it. The only time that he'll actually go beyond just humanizing the creature. He's going to change it to more unbelievable scenes where it's not supposed to be. Giving it a unique ability. Not anything like Indominus Rex's camouflage. No, far beyond that. A defense mechanism. More like, no defense, but more for the attack mechanism. Like it be used for defense, offense, and defense. Offense and defense. Offense and defense. This would be used for easier things than this. He preferred to give it firepower. Concentrated heat. Able to breathe fire. Similar to a dragon. To where it can change the temperature of the hot flames in its mouth. He wanted this to be useful. This also came with side effects where it would also make the creature overheat. He found a way to bypass this by having the creature have the substance within a patch within the stomach, an area where next to the heart. This was a huge patch. He wanted this to be similar to how one of a very interesting creature spray flammable gas, flammable liquid. It almost turned was like fire, but it increased the temperature to where it's flammable and easily burn or melt. This was the thing that he wanted to do. Giving it osteoderms like a crocodile, or it's jagged and sharp, and armor, thick enough to repel anything that would pierce, like a triceratops' horns or a raptor's claw, or even a slash from Therizinosaurus. This creature was supposed to be deadly, precise, and he wanted to be smart. The smart to know human threat which humans are threats and which humans are good. And which animals seem bad, like mentally, like unstable, like the Scorpius, and which ones are generally okay, like the Tyrannosaurus Roberta. He made sure to keep this. This was supposed to be like a guideline, so the creature wouldn't just be a weapon for bias and if things didn't go their way. He put that in secret as he finalized it and proceeded to put it within. As not long, a few months later, after hard work, it would prepared and ready. There would batch a few couple hatchlings, but none would ever break out the egg. It was a failed success. It was a failure. The boss took a look at Wu saying, "You failed. Again." This is disappointing Wu, as he was stopped to turn and searing the crack. It was not the largest egg, but the second, third largest egg, as it would proceed to crack, as opening as the creature would open his eyes. His eyes were very reddish. Was like an amethyst gold. Oh, that was borderline like the color of the horizon. But in some parts of the eye were blood, like red, with a very draconic like slit. The creature would proceed to cry out, as now it was complete. Everything was done. You wanted your monster, as simply says, "There's your monster." What shall we name you? As Delta will look over the baby. It had stripes like a zebra. Zeb. Perfect. They named it Zeb. But personally, I'll be calling him Izuku because it makes more sense. Bryson wanted named Zeb, but Wu had a better name. Something more personal. Izuku. It was fitting to the name. Zeb was, I guess, the last name that he was going to give him. Izuku Zeb. But Izuku was fitting of the forest, which he would be protecting. It fitted very well, as Zeb/Izuku would grow like the Indominus, how it would grow in a few weeks. Not long, he was already had his fangs popping out, his teeth, and already eating meat under a few months. Not even 4 months. It was on the second month he was already eating meat. His size was a small dog. Size of a Pomeranian. He was already pretty much developing everything. Venom glands, his teeth became more larger and shaped than a regular carnivore. Storing venom. He's starting to kick his venom. The venom was supposed to kick in very soon. We would say that he needed to do the training for the creature. Simply to bias, and I really need to get this guy a name. I'm gonna give him a random name. I don't call him Leeds. Leeds pretty much say, nah. Let's just Let him wait. We will say they need training now. It's intelligent. You want an intelligent creature that would protect the forest and do your dirty work. Do you not? So it needs to be trained. I'll train it. As Wu will proceed to train it, training Izuku in what he needed, what was right, and he showed him surprisingly clips. The creature was very drawn to the video, watching them. He was alert, attend what was right, and showing of what was wrong, like the events of Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom. And even the Scorpius Rex and how insane it was. It was taught no, bad. Roberta, and the dinosaurs who were acting naturally, good, protect. Bad, kill, off. Good, protect. But also we wanted to teach him redemption. To save. This was also put into the creature's mind to save, really. The more it was taught, the more things it wanted. He also pretty much told of pack. This creature was now a pack animal. It hunted in packs. The humans around it proceeded to let it hunt, hunting pigs and lambs. The moment it was to the size of a large dog, it was getting large. It hunted with humans. It was a pack animal, no doubt. Probably the part from the Indominus Rex being a raptor. Through DNA within the Indominus, it was stronger. Apart from the Indoraptor, it was more raptor than the Indominus. No doubt. But with a pack, this made the creature more sane. The humans were its pack, but also taught, well, humans not to trust. Like leads. Don't trust leads. No matter what. Listen to him. Listen to what he says. Choose what he says to listen to. But don't trust him. Not long, Izuku had a mind of his own. His mind was smart. Where he can solve things like escape his pen or paddocks. He escaped it multiple times trying to figure out what was out in the outdoors. Never was. Always taken back in. Experiments were done. Will wanted to make sure all of his defenses and his attributes were working correctly. Adjusting things, making them more powerful. Make sure his breath attack was stronger, can have the ability to get stronger. Rue also did something to Izuku. It was strange. Not long he was playing with radiation. He didn't know why. But it had an effect on Izuku. Where it made it a bit radioactive. There's a bit. To enhancing some features like his flames. Making a bit radioactive for its causing pollution and toxicity and death. And others like his venom, which is way more powerful than the breath, has a more nastier effect. He never used his breath. He doesn't know how to. It wasn't ready to pop in yet. Leeds saw it. He was growing. Good. But not long he was getting too big. He was the size of a truck. He was the size of a small minivan. He was too big to be inside. They let him go to the outdoors. Finally releasing him to the Biosyn Valley. They weren't sure Each dinosaur had a chip that would bring them to the valley, in the middle of the valley. This was a precaution to make sure if anything happened or any incidents, the animals would be safe. Zeb was also given this as well. To a more extreme, to hide. He was also given camouflage, night vision. How did he get this? We didn't give him it on purpose. This was just given from what was used, the Indominus, and this along with the mighty Indoraptor. He also can see through heat vision, thermal heat, seeing people's body temperatures. This was something given just by the creature. This was useful, very useful to the animal. He spent a lot of time on the land, but once he found a body of water, he liked it. It was probably some of that Spinosaurus DNA. He could swim, dive, but he didn't spend too much time. He preferred land. Not long, he was growing to sizes that were big. And the events of Jurassic World Dominion started coming in. That's when they started bringing in animals. Like creatures that were wild. More animals popped in. Izuku was big. He was at least the same size as the Dominion Giga Gun Cannon. He had another new special ability that you've learned. His jaw was able to break, where he have a larger and more radius of a bite force that can be the same as powerful as the Rex's or surpass. He didn't know how. He found himself strange. He was relaxing one day and new smells entered the forest. He noticed it immediately that morning. These smells are so new. Rexes. How many? Several of them. Interesting. The one smelled off. It smelled like him. But it didn't smell like him. Put it to the side. The small dinosaur proceeded to walk forward as Zuko looking at it, opened one of his eyes, looking at it. He wanted food. Seeing open its mouth, simply as allowing it to feed on the remaining back, scraps of flesh within his fangs, making sure not to clamp down. He's not no horrible creature. Sure. No. He follows the rules of nature, even though he's not a normal creature. He was different, modified, a genetic monster. He knew it. He was created in the lab. He was as smart as the Indominus, maybe even smarter. The humans, he knew that they were some or all. He knew the humans had some good within them, and also bad. He knew which humans were good and bad. If they had attributes like leads, don't trust them. If they wanted to do good, well, they had generally good in their hearts. After taking a nap, he proceeded to get up slowly. He was hungry. He was given a very slow metabolism. Or if he ate something that ate a large herbivore or anything that's large to medium-sized herbivore, he would proceed to go without food for months, like 6 to 7 months. It was strange. They wanted him to eat because if he wasn't even fully grown, and that would take a lot more food. Where he needed to hunt like every moment, every single moment, every single hour, just to keep himself satisfied. So slow metabolism, but plenty of energy. But that also came with a lot of energy that needed to be drained. And really, there was awfully no way that he could have drained all that energy and, well, dealing. He also knows about the venom. That he could control. If he wanted to use it, he would use it. If he didn't, it wouldn't be used. It wouldn't be used. He rarely used it at all because there was no need. Nothing really threatened him or felt like he was threatened, nor if the value was threatened. It always wasn't needed. He proceeded to walk around. He just wanted a snack. That's all. He was just hungry because, well, he wanted to eat, but not actually starving. He wanted to nibble on something. Proceeded to see, well, a Rex. She had a deer in her mouth. Proceeded to look at the Rex's age, giving her a good look over. She wasn't old, no. She was far from old. She's seen old in dinosaur years, but in human years, she is still decently in not her prime, but close to the prime. She was far from old. She proceeded to look at him as he proceeded to easily beat her in combat, or just proceed to push her away. He didn't want to cause problems. Give her a little scratch on the noggin. She left. No problem there. So he ate the food. It was decent. He smelled human. He didn't bother looking for them because, well, it was new, but he was just way too tired to do anything. He proceeded to head back to his sleeping area. Once he arrived back, he proceeded to crash once more. Closing his eyes once again as falling asleep. Izuku or Zeb would sleep until, well, he was woken up yet again by a feeling in his mind. It was that thing they put in his head. It called dinosaurs to, well, the valley, in the middle of the valley, observation center. And he found everything, well, in flames. The valley was burning. He just wanted to take care of the problem, but just, well, take care of itself, basically. He proceeded to make his way towards the middle. Not long, he found more humans. Okay, what is up with all these humans here? Like, really? Every time he sees humans, and they didn't smell familiar. Not at all. As looking down, it's proceeding to wonder. They were circling this car. Every time they tried to make a step towards them, they always went on the other side of the vehicle. They never stopped moving. This tank thingy, this metal rock, always got in the way. They proceeded to go to this large metal tree and, well, one still remained. He proceeded to chase one of them, deciding to do one thing just for once, maybe just to wonder. Try to grab it and see what this human was doing. Chopping down on this metal branch. He heard her screaming. Well, that's not good. And not long, she tried to remove his jaws from the metal thing, but it would budge. He used a bit more force and, well, it ripped apart as simply he proceeded to look up as this is now the humans were in the metal tree, looking at him. He wondered what they were doing. He decided to poke his head as some sort of force field shattered. Or force? Whatever it was. They proceeded to scream again as one of his teeth, fang-like teeth, would get caught within some sort of rope-like branch. As he simply tried to pull his head back, as one of the humans would scream as it would be the red one. She would scream as the other one would proceed to grab his mate. Try to grab her and free her from, well, whatever. That metal rope, that rope-like branch would rip apart as simply he'll be stung in the eye by something. Ow, that hurt. No, that wasn't fun. They didn't need to sting him and poke him in the eye. Fuck, that hurt like a bitch. Not long he got his attention noticed, looking to see the human. Seeing him as Izuka wondered what he was doing. He was waving some sort of stick. What are you doing? As he proceeded to try to roar, before he knew it, his mouth would be set on fire. It didn't burn. That was weird. Instead of rising out of pain, he reacted out of surprise as, proceeding to roar as the flames would proceed to burst out of his mouth, spitting out, well, whatever was in this, a locust. Ugh. It tasted absolutely disgusting. It smelled good, but it tasted disgusting. Ugh. Nasty. Proceeded to look yet again. Well, that was not worth it. He left simply as, well, he should continue making his way towards the middle. Not long, he finally made it towards the middle. And, well, what he found was Rexia again. She was here. Why was she here? Yet this part of the valley was his territory. Everything from the sleeping area to this place was his territory. And yet she was in it. He grew up here, so he knew the place better than her. They proceeded to circle each other. The humans were below them. He wanted them to get out the way. He needed to kick her out. He didn't want to kill her, but she was saying that he was a threat and needed to be dealt with. He simply asked, "What do you mean?" Before they knew it, they were fighting. One of the humans said this doesn't involve us, which it doesn't. As they proceeded to fight, he tried to get her to move, but she just wouldn't. She's stubborn. And she's strong, yes, but after a few nips and grabs, and threw her to the side, as gently as he could, she would topple over on one metal branches. He proceeded to put just some of his weight on her, proceeded to roar out in victory. He didn't need to kill her, so she was out cold. Better than ever. You see Dr. Wu. He was there also. His father? What was he doing here? Simply as Wu was saying, go, go, as they would proceed to go, as he would be confused as one of the older females was trying to run towards, but that didn't work so well. Not long. Oh, great. It's the tickle chicken. Why is she here? The last time he met her, she completely tried to slash him. What she didn't do, what she did and had no effect. It was like scraping through hard metal copper, and it hurt. It didn't hurt, but it just felt really weird, which actually kind of gave him like a reason to stay away from her. Being scraped by her. No, not again. Never again. Stopping to look at the chicken, the tickle chicken as, well, she simply growled at us, saying, what are you doing here? I'm here in my territory. What are you doing here? Two were circling each other. She didn't like him. He didn't like her. That's a problem. And not long she was fighting him. She proceeded to slap him in the face. It was raining. Great, she slapped him in the face. Just what he needed. And then, whoa. Wu proceeded to, as they proceeded to shoot a flare in the air. Wu looked down at his creation, seeing him fight the Therizinosaurus. He wondered if he was coming out alive. This is when the rest would get up as Wu was saying, he's gonna die. Owen was turned towards, what do you mean? The Giganotosaurus. I raised him from a hatchling. He's not a regular giga. Clarence returned, what do you mean he's not a regular giga? He's more than that. He's like Maddie. More than that. As way more. She would proceed to turn as looking down. He's like me? Yes, similar but different. Bias and mostly that jerk latter jerk told me to create him. He wanted a safety, as they proceed to call him a pet guard dog. To make a monster. He's the guard dog to the valley. I gave him some benefits that I pretty much know that he hasn't unlocked yet. As the Rex would proceed to get up, he proceeded to turn as being slapped yet again on the thigh, which this turkey would not stop annoying him. The Rex would try to charge. She would proceed to charge as simply snarling. As yet again, Turkey would try to slash, using his tail to slap her in the head. This was getting overwhelming. Izuku knew that he needed to leave. He needed to do something. But what could he do? As the heat was starting to build, it would feel weird. They would proceed to look down as wondering, what's happening to the Giga? As his back would glow, it would be bioluminescent. As the blue bioluminescence was to glow through the back. through the osteoderms and the spikes. Those osteoderms, like armor, goes all the way to the tip of the head. As to the crown, as it would glow, as his eyes would glow a bright blue, as opening his mouth, as spewing flames, as the flames would turn to color blue, as spewing him, as he would proceed to blast would just a few centimeters in front of the toothed creatures, from the Rex and the tickled chicken. As this was pretty much surprising, as the two creatures, as also surprised the others, that dinosaur can breathe fire. It was a precaution, as stopping the attack, as breathing out, as he was exhausted now. Zuko proceeded to turn around and leave. He didn't have time for this. As he left, simply, the two other animals proceeded to leave as well. Ladder told me to paint him, so I created him. I gave him venom, armor. He has camouflage, night vision, and other things. But he's not a psychotic animal. He's very intelligent, smart. The reason why he wasn't attacking you is he decided to kill you all because he was curious. He was taught not to attack the good ones, only the bad ones, including good animals and bad. Like the Indominus. She's also in the valley somewhere. If she's a threat, he'll take care of her. Wherever she is. As they proceed to leave, as well, everything will be going well. Opening his eyes as he could proceed to stretch, he was exhausted. More than exhausted, getting up slowly. Well, he knew what he wanted to do now. Hunt. He was starving. He didn't think that whoever that was, that breath was actually, he will be draining. He spewed hot orange light. The light was hot. Well, it's not really orange, but blue. He proceeded to go hunt. Trying to hunt to want something at least. What could he hunt? Buckbill, Triceratops, Iguanodon, Pachycephalosaurus, Patasaurus, Pachycephalosaurus, so many other animals. Decided to eat one of the iguanodon families, another iguanodon from the iguanodon family, taking the large animal and proceeding to kill it. He would only kill if he was hungry, or if it came down, he would only kill to defend himself or the valley. That was it. He proceeded to eat the animal. After eating his full, which was a lot, he proceeded to leave as going to do his own thing now. He proceeded to sniff the areas. What was that smell? The smell was strange. Whatever that was. He decided he needed to sleep. There was no way that he was going to get rest like this. Starting to close his eyes, taking a short nap. Opening his eyes is wondering. It's getting up as proceeding to wonder. Alright. It's time to get up. What shall I do? Now thinking about it, he was lonely. He could look for a mate, but there were no others like, well, him. He could remember that he could interbreed with another animal. That was very told by him from Blue. He could interbreed with another carnivore, if it was a large one, like a Rex or a Spino. But he didn't really want to interbreed with one of those, because, number one, it's hard. Number one, he doesn't really want to breed with a Rex nor a Spino, because they're aggressive. Number two, they're needy. And number three, they only eat a lot of food. And they fight a lot. And I mean a lot. So yeah, no. No Spino, no Rex. He could breed another giga, but to all his knowledge, he was the only giga around. Maybe another... No other carnivores. He doesn't want to breed with Aloe, because they're not strong enough. Maybe you want to breed with another Carcharodontosaurus? No. Even though he's in that general animal family, he doesn't want to breed with them either. He's met one, and yeah, he's not a fan of them. They're loud and annoying. So he decided, yeah, no breed, no mating, not yet. He's trying to walk around his territory and, well, look. He proceeded to walk. There's nothing else to really do. Stopping as a new smell enters. What was the smell? Great. Stopping immediately, seeing. Was that a Spinosaurus? Gender. Can't tell. The creature would proceed to lay asleep. The colors were hard to really look. The main color looked like a black, like a gray, or was it black? Between black or gray, maybe it was both. The second color was, well, red or brown. Red or brown, maybe both, but it looked more brown than red. The third color was, well, surprisingly blue, but it was a really pale blue, not seen really. The gray was mixed with blue too, which made it look like a blackish blue, pale black with a light blue color. This was as big as him. Wonder what he's doing here. He proceeded to try to get closer. Close enough where he's not noticed as he's able to open his eyes as you look around. Who's there? Okay, maybe now, okay. Come out as it would proceed to growl. Maybe not male. Okay. So I said that creature is not a male. That Spino's not a male. Actually, a female. How convincing. He proceeded to make his way out. She'll look over him. A giga. I haven't seen you in a while. The last one I saw was killed by the Rexes. Oh, goody. What do you want? I just want to know what you're doing in the valley. Valley? What is this? No, No, it's not. You're in the valley. A place where peace can be, I guess, hoped. He simply looked at us, wondering, where are you anyways? You're a Spino, but you don't act like a normal Spinosaurus. She'll simply scoff. Whatever. You're not another Rex killer, are you? Rex killer? You don't, kill Tyrannosaurus Rexes. Duh. You kill Rexes? Of course I do. Why? They're nagging and annoying, and it's fun to kill them anyways. Izuku's would seemingly have a scowl on his face. It's not good to take away life. I can understand if you're fighting to protect your territory, but just to kill because it's fun is not something that we do. And you're gonna stop me? I will put an end to it. I'm not gonna try to kill you though. You're gonna try to kill me. I can do it. I'm not really interested. Izuku proceeded to get up. Alright, see you later. You should be surprised that this giga was so relaxed as he proceeded to leave. For a Giganosaurus, she was very armored. That was weird. Izuku's greenish gray body would blend into the surroundings. His greenish gray body would be more blackish green. The gray looked like it was pale gray, borderline on black. His body would meld with surroundings. This was nice. Everything was just so great. The 3 rows of osteodome spikes would be protruding. They were large. The biggest one in the middle. They're defined, jagged, and big. They had a grayish, whitish outline to them, which was strange. At least you knew he was growing. How nice. Izuku proceeded to once again go back to his sleeping area, his place, and proceeded to close his eyes and sleep. That's the only thing he could really do. Nothing else to pass the time. Nothing more he can do. Nothing less. Closing his eyes as proceeding to sleep. Time skip a few hours later. He proceeded to sleep. Sleeping as he would sleep, he would continue. Rest. Nothing more, nothing less. But that was, interrupted by a roar. The roar was decently nearby. It was loud. It didn't cry out for help, no. It was more of a battle cry against a war. He proceeded to get up, making his way there. So after a few minutes of trudging the forest, he arrived, seeing an albino. That's new. He's never seen an albino before. Not up close and personal. This one looked familiar though. Large arms, claws, mashed teeth, red eyes. Oh, this was this Indominus creature that Wu made. Isn't that something? And it was the same Rex yet again. She was fighting this Indominus. He proceeded just to watch. He was curious who would come out on top. The Rex would proceed to fight as she would proceed to try to fight the Indominus. The two didn't seem equal. The Rex had an oversized wind to bite force. But the Indominus had the claws and the large arms that gave it the edge. That gave it to be pushed the Rex away, where it couldn't try to wrap around its jaws around her neck. The Indominus proceeded to pin down at the Rex as she looked down, saying, "This time, no one's gonna stop finishing you off. No raptor, no nothing." And as Zuko would proceed to fall down, as proceeding to push the albino creature off of the Rex, the Indominus would be surprised seeing a Giganosaurus. It was her first time seeing one. He was large. Something came to her. It's like a switch flipped within her mind. She looked him over. He was a blackish, like grayish, greenish color. He was obviously gorgeous in his colors. And the way he was shaped and his gray body is shaped, it was jagged, very jagged, with spikes going down from the tip of his head to the rear of his tail. Large teeth that were protruding out of his jaw. It looked more like fangs and carnivorous teeth, to be honest. Hazel, like horizon-like hazel eyes that were more border-like red. Like the horizon was mixed with a crimson blood. He was gorgeous, beautiful. What was his feeling? Zuko proceeded to watch the Indominus. What was going on with her head? He got no clue. She was just standing there. Just staring. Why was she staring? I'm freaked out now.